Hi team, greetings everyone. In our previous session, we saw how to create a suit and how to trigger the suit execution. Right now, we are going to see about few of the features which is available for the suit. So if you can see, there are two suits as of now. One is smoke testing, one is demo. Right? For each and every suit, we have this access and auto run failed scripts. What is this access? What is this auto run failed scripts? We are going to see in our today's session. Right? Now, who has created this particular smoke testing suit? I am the super admin of this particular license has created this particular suit, right? Now, when I say the access, there are only two options. One is private, one is public. So when I say private, the creator of the suit. So as Steve Anderson, I am the creator of this particular suit. So only I can access this particular suit, meaning that only I can see this particular suit inside this particular project, right? Now, if any other user is present inside this project, can they see this particular suit? No, they cannot, because this suit access is private, which means it is visible only for the creator. Now, I'll just click on this more option. I'll just go for details, right? So it is saying created by Steve Anderson, right? Now, I'm Steve Anderson who has created this particular suit, right? Let me navigate back. Now, any other user of this particular license or this particular project, even though they are super admin or admin, they cannot see this particular suit until unless I give the access as public, right? Now, let me show you practically. So, let me go to all project level and let me go to users. So, under this license, Steve Anderson is the super admin who is the actual owner of the license, right? Means I am. So here we have NetSmith who is also a super admin. I have made NetSmith as a super admin, right? Now NetSmith can access this particular license, right? Now when I say this particular license, let me show you the license number. So what is the license number of Steve Anderson? It is 15321. This is the license number of Steve Anderson, right? Now this license can be accessed by whom? When I go to projects and when I go to users, this license can be accessed by NetSmith, Karthik and FireFlink, correct? So here, if you can see, three users can access this particular license apart from Steve Anderson, right? Now, if NetSmith is switching to this license and if he goes to Shopperstack project and if he navigates to test execution, he will not be able to see these two suits. Why? Because these two suits were created by Steve Anderson. NetSmith cannot see this. Okay, let me show you. Fine. So now, first, this is whose license? This is Steve Anderson's license, right? For cross verification, here if I click on the profile icon, whose name is reflecting Steve Anderson, right? Now, this is Steve Anderson license, and in this license, we have a Shopperstack project, and there are two suits. One is smoke testing suit, one is demo suit, right? Now, I will open the NetSmith license. See, this is NetSmith license. How do I say that? See, I'll just click on the profile icon. It is saying NetSmith. And if I go to license, see, this is NetSmith license 9261 and it is managed by NetSmith. But if you can see, there are other two licenses reflecting. What is the meaning of this? NetSmith has been added to this particular license, FireFlink Shopperstack, as an admin, and NetSmith has been added to this license 15321 as a super admin, which is managed by Steve Anderson. Now NetSmith can see all these three licenses. Why? Because he has been added as a user to that particular licenses with different privileges. So for this license, he is a super admin. For this license, he is an admin. For his license, obviously, he is a super admin. Right? See, privilege is super admin. Now, this is NetSmith license. NetSmith wants to switch to whose license? Steve Anderson's license. What is the license number? 13521. Right? Now, Netsmith, what he will do, he will just click on this drop down. And here he will click on the particular license which he wants to switch to. He will just click on this license number. And here he will provide the Netsmith username and password, and he will just click on switch. So once you click on switch, we can see now Netsmith is present in whose license? Steve Anderson's license. So how do I say that? If you can see, if I go to users, who is the super admin? Steve Anderson. Meaning that whose license is this? Steve Anderson's license, right? Now in this license, Steve Anderson is a super admin, even Netsmith is a super admin, right? Now Netsmith means I am using this license as a Netsmith now. I'll just go to projects, I'll just go to shopper stack, I'll just go to test execution. See, it is showing empty. So when I navigate to this particular shopper stack project as Netsmith, I am not able to see the suits. Why? Because those suits were created by Steve Anderson. Unless Steve Anderson gives the permission, which is nothing but he is changing the status to means access to public, other users cannot see the particular suit, right? And this is Netsmith's license, correct? See, I'll just click on this profile icon. Whose license means Steve Anderson license, but Netsmith is accessing it. Now, as Netsmith, I want to navigate back to my Netsmith license. How do I do that? Same procedure. Just go to all project level, license, click on the drop down and select the respective license. So this is Netsmith license, I'll just click on it. And again it will ask for Netsmith username and password, I'll just click on switch. See, now this is Netsmith license, right? Now let me go to Steve Anderson license. See, this is Steve Anderson license, and now what I will do, I will change the access to public. For this also I'll change the access to public. So now both the suits are having access as public, right? Now if Netsmith is coming to this shopper stack application under this particular license, he will be able to see both the suits, right? Let us check. I'll go to Netsmith license. From Netsmith license, I want to switch to whose license? Steve Anderson license, right? I'll just click on the license drop down, license section, go for license drop down, select the Steve Anderson license, username and password of Netsmith has to be entered, click on switch license. Now I'll go to shopper stack, I'll go to test execution. Now as Netsmith, I am able to see the suits. Why? Because the access has been changed from private to public. So the purpose of this access is who can access the suit. So whenever we are creating a suit as a user, I will be able to see that particular suit. If I want other users of my license or of my project to see this particular suit, then I have to give the access as public. So this is with respect to access, right? Now let me navigate back to Steve Anderson license, right? Now we will focus on this AutoRun failed scripts. So here in this particular smoke testing suite, how many scripts are there? 2 scripts are there, right? While running this particular suite execution, any one script is getting failed due to some network issue, right? So what is going to happen when I enable this AutoRun failed scripts? Only the failed script will be triggered once again with a new execution ID, right? So for what purpose? In order to check whether it is passing again or whether it is failing again, right? So here we will automatically run the failed test cases with respect to suit execution, right? Let us see it. So for that, in this particular suit, as of now, 2 scripts are there. Let me just click on edit, and here one script is for registration process, one script is for login process, right? Now what I will do, I'll just go to test development. I'll just go to this shopper module, and here I will add one more script. I'll just say add automation script PC005, and here I am going to add a test case which should fail, right? So that once the particular script is getting failed, it should be auto triggered again automatically, right? Now here I'll just specify it as verify, and here I'll just give the type as web, and let me click on create. So this is not a proper naming convention. In order to show you that auto run failed its scripts, I'm just creating this. See, the automation script is created. Now here the post condition is already added. Since I have added the post condition for module, right? I'll just say open browser. I'll just click on this plus step, open browser. I'll give the if else checkpoint, click on add. Now I'll just click on this add button. I'll say navigate to URL. So here I am going to intentionally enter a wrong URL because I want this particular step to fail. When a step is failing, obviously the script will also fail, right? I'll just give the if else checkpoint and click on add. So now I have added an automation script which will fail, right? Now I will add this automation script to my suite. I'll just go to test execution. I'll just click on this edit button, and here I'll again click on this select modules and scripts. Now I will select this particular script, and why I'm doing this, because I want this particular script to fail so that the suite gets failed, right? Now let me just click on select and let me click on update. So now all I have to do is run this particular suite. So before that, I have to make sure this toggle button is enabled because we are going to check this feature only, right? I'll just enable this toggle button. See, AutoRun failed scripts option is enabled for smoke testing. Now, if I run this particular suite, one execution will be happening, right? Meaning that 3 different test cases will be running. Whereas in the 3 different test cases, my last third test case will be failing. So it should automatically trigger once again the execution, right? That is what we are going to see now. I'll just click on the run button, and here I'll go with the same machine. I'll just click on run. Let me see the status. So it's already running. So 3 different executions will be happening. Once my third execution is failing, fourth execution will be automatically triggered. And observe, 1 minute. So here, what is the execution ID? 1105, right? Let us observe the execution meanwhile. So my registration script and my login script will be running. If any one of the script is failing also, even that particular script will also be auto triggered once again. So now as of now, it is running the registration script. Since I have given delay between steps, it is taking time for each and every step. So this is my registration script. Once after verification, this will automatically close the browser. Now my second script will be executing, which is nothing but the login script. Second script execution has begun. So this is login script, right? So it will navigate to login script, login page, and it will enter the email ID and password. So now this is login page. It has to enter the email ID and password. You should click on login button, and it should verify whether we are landing in home page or not, and then it should close the browser. Second execution is also done. Now third execution will be happening, which will open the browser, but it will not navigate to the URL. Why? Because I have given a wrong URL. See, it is opening a browser, but it is not navigating to the URL, right? Now this third test case is failing, right? Observe, a new execution ID will be generated. Let me just sync the status here. See, new execution ID got generated, and this will run only the third script. Why? Because I have given auto run failed scripts, that particular option, right? So what is going to happen? It is going to run only the third script. And here the execution which I triggered is 1105. But the automatic trigger, it means there is a auto run failed test cases, right? So here if you can see a new execution ID 1106 with the parent ID. What is this parent ID? So it is taking the settings which is given in the 1105 and it is taking that particular ID as a parent ID and it is triggering one more execution. So what is this parent ID meaning in the sense? So whenever I want to trigger execution, I have to select the machine, I have to give the wait statement, I have to give the result configuration, execution termination configuration, all this configuration I have to give. Am I right? So here if it is automatically going to trigger execution, from where it is going to take the settings? It will be taking the settings from the previous execution. So whenever it is taking the settings from the previous execution, that particular execution is considered as the parent ID, right? And here if I sync the status, see, this is the execution 1105 which I triggered, where 1 out of 3 got failed, meaning that I executed 3 scripts, 1 got failed, and 1106, how many scripts are executing? Only 1 script. Why? Because in the previous execution only 1 script was failing, so it is triggering the execution of that particular script to make sure it is not failing due to network issue, right? Now I'll go to test execution. So I'll go to test development now. I'll go to that particular script which I intentionally failed, right? I'll just go to that particular script. And here I'll change the URL. I'll remove this. I'll call the proper URL. See, this is the variable which I'm calling. So the same if I'll checkpoint, let me click on update. Now if I go to test execution, if I run this suit now, is it going to trigger the execution once again? No. All the 3 scripts will be passing. Am I right? So in that case, this feature will not work. So this feature, when it is going to work, it is going to work only for the failed test cases. You are running a suit, say for example, 100 scripts are there, and out of 100 scripts, 10 scripts are failing. So all those 10 scripts will be executing one more time. Like you can ask, okay, if it is failing again, will it trigger one more execution? No, that might lead to a loop. So what I'm saying in the sense, if I click on this suit name and if I go to execution dashboard, so here 1105, right? Let me just click on the failed status. So here if you can see under login module, under the shopper module, we have this particular test case which is failing. If I click on this failed means particular script, I can see the exact step where it is getting failed, right? Now this is getting failed because of incorrect URL, right? Now what is happening? Due to this reason, since that particular script is failing, what is happening? A new execution is triggered, right? And if I click on the status of that particular new execution, again the same script is failing in the same step. Like if I trigger one more time, don't you think this will go under a loop? So it is going to trigger the execution again and again until it is getting passed, right? That's a problem. Then I have to come to this particular execution dashboard and terminate the execution, right? So only in order to avoid that situation, we are allowing to rerun the failed scripts only one time, right? So that in that particular one time, we can decide whether it is happening due to this, due to the actual failure or due to the network failure, right? So that is why we are elevating that particular auto rerun to one time. So these are the different access and auto run failed test cases. These two are the features which is available in the FireFlink platform in the execution section, right? So in today's session, we have discussed about 2 options. One is access and one is auto run failed scripts. So we'll discuss the other features in the next session. Thank you.